What a great crowd. I am just so pleased to see this room filled for this wonderful event. Good morning, I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor. Welcome everyone, standing room only, to the Town of Brighton's celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. First, I would ask everybody, if you are able, to please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated. Today, and for this month-long period, we celebrate Hispanic heritage, history, and culture, which we all know are such important elements of the history and culture of our nation, and specifically of the Rochester area. In addition, and as we do at all of our significant community events, we also acknowledge and celebrate the ancestral heritage of the Onondaga people. We acknowledge that the town of Brighton is situated on the ancestral and traditional lands of the Onondaga tribe of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, whom we recognize and deeply respect as the traditional custodians of this land throughout the generations. We pay our respect to Onondaga elders, both past and present. In the history, the culture, and the traditions of the Onondaga are truly worthy of our understanding and our study, and we praise those who keep those traditions alive here in this area and around our country. We recognize that the study and the understanding of the Onondaga history, culture, and traditions are of ongoing importance if we are to truly understand the history, the culture, and the traditions of this region, our community, and our nation. We support efforts to ensure that we and future generations continue to respect and recognize the Onondaga people in a way that is honest and truthful, so that, in the words of Sacagawea, the great Haudenosaunee chief and orator, also known as Red Jacket, we may also always work together to brighten the chain of friendship. We have a number of elected officials. I hope I haven't missed anybody, but elected officials past and present. From our town board, we have Robin Wilt and Nate Salzman. You'll be hearing more from Nate in just a minute. Brighton Town Justice Vic Vilkew is here. Judge, thank you for being here. We will be hearing in a moment from another judge, Judge Maria Cubillos-Reed, but more on Judge Reed to follow. And I'm so pleased that a former government leader, Nancy Padilla, is with us today. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge the work of Miriam Moore, our Chief Diversity Officer. Thank you, Miriam, for organizing this great event, as well as an ongoing celebration which will take place at the Brighton Farmers Market on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. The Brighton Farmers Market is held at the Brighton High School. So come on out again for some more festivities, some more culture, some more dance. I also appreciate the work of the members of the IDEA Board, our Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Advisory Board, who work to implement our town IDEA plan, the Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Action Plan. That plan underlies the intentional and important work that we do here in Brighton to recognize and celebrate the diversity of our community. Too many sheets here. Well, In any event, I'm next pleased to be able to introduce Councilmember Nate Salzman. Councilmember Salzman will have some remarks, and then we have a special presentation to follow that. Nate?
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a privilege to be with you today to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. This is a time that we honor our rich traditions, contributions from the Hispanic and Latino communities, which have blessed our town in so many ways. For me, this celebration is deeply personal. As many of you know, I was lucky enough to marry into a Puerto Rican family and have first, that's right. And I experienced firsthand the vibrancy, the warmth, and the strength of Rochester's Hispanic community. Now, I may be Rochester's worst salsa dancer, but man, there's nothing better than enjoying the music at the Puerto Rican Festival. And it may be your first time in Brighton, but you'll be treated like family at Carmen's Cooking. And by the way, Bill and I know the best time to go is Tuesday and Wednesday, right? With the homemade tembleque. I've also had the privilege of being welcomed as a volunteer baseball coach with the Rochester Hispanic Youth Baseball League for several years. This league, which is organized and run by local community leaders like Santos Cruz, who's sitting back there, our county legislator, and Caitlin, of course. They share the rich tradition of baseball with the next generation of Roberto Clemente, Pedro Martinez, Mariano Salzman. Oh, I'm sorry, that's supposed to say Mariano Rivera. But more than anything, RIBAL is a league that celebrates Hispanic culture through play. Of course, Santos knows this, I have to shout out our back-to-back champions, the Parisi Panthers, and my co-coach, Zach King. So today, as we celebrate, we also acknowledge the contributions that the Hispanic community has made to our community. And I mean, just look who we're celebrating today. Just today, we are recognizing accomplishments in the arts, in law, public safety, politics, and business. It is so important that we continue to uplift these contributions and celebrate them and recognize that it's our diversity that makes Brighton special. Thank you so much. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you, Nate. I'm glad you got that dig in. Is Mariano Santos, is he going to be playing in the Florida Gulf Coast League next year? Clearly he has a talented future ahead of him. This is a family celebration in more than one way today. So I'm pleased next to invite Samantha Parisi to the podium. Samantha.
When our family came to Rochester over 30 years ago, we were welcomed to the Puerto Rican community by Nancy Padilla. At the time, Nancy Padilla was running to be the first Hispanic and the first female mayor of Rochester. Our family quickly learned that the Padilla family has been the welcome wagon for Hispanics to Rochester for generations. From Nancy Padilla to Danny Padilla, the giant slayer, an international Rochester bodybuilder, to Nidia Padilla. This family defines service to our community in everything that they do. The dance community of Rochester was blessed with Nidia Padilla, who has her roots in Garth Fagan dance. She is the youngest company member to be a part of Garth Fagan dance, who then took her artistry and her knowledge of Puerto Rican culture and created the Borinquen Dance Theater, which has been a source of pride in our community for over 43 years. Nidia has spent her career paving a path for young Latinas as a mentor and an inspiration in our community. Nidia has dedicated her life to ensuring that Latinas understand our identity, our traditions, and that we can unite our community through dance. With each ensayo that she creates, we are immersed en la belleza y la fuerza de nuestra isla. When Rochester sees Nidia's creations, they're able to understand the souls and the Latino rhythms that are the pulse of our identity and who we are. The way that you embody nuestra orgullo puertorriqueña and the way that you share that with our community gives me so much hope for our future. Y ahora te presento Nidia Padilla.
Bienvenidos a todos. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for that eloquent introduction. I will have to say that I have to extend my name to Nidia Padilla Rodriguez, because without my partner there, John Rodriguez, believe me, Borinquen Dance Theater would not be here today. As you all know, you need to make sure that you have the kind of support starting in the home. And my husband, I love you for always being there for me. I have to stick to the time, I was told. So I want to respect that. But I do want to share with all of you that Borinquen Dance Theater would not exist without the support of many of you that are in this room right now. So give yourself a nice round of applause. You know who you are. Without the support of funders, volunteers, parents, students, thousands of students who have gone through Borinquen Dance Theater, we would not be here today. I feel that we are a gem in our community. We educate the community about who we are as a people, and we're very proud of our culture, our values, our principles, and the need for us to be unified as a community, regardless of our race, regardless of being black, brown, white, that doesn't matter. We are family. And all of you in this room, we extend our love and our artistic creativity for you to learn more about who we are as Puerto Ricanos. So, because of timing, I'm not dancing for you, sorry. This is a little wrinkle, but you're gonna notice the 3 ruffles. And the 3 ruffles, I always wanted our kids to be proud of their identity. I have kids that have come to me to say, I feel like I'm too dark, or I feel like I'm too white, or I feel like I'm brown, but I don't know why I'm brown. These 3 ruffles represent the influence of the Taino Arawak indigenous, who were the original people on the island, the African influence, who were enslaved on the island, and the Spanish European influence, who make us who we are as a people. So all the Puerto Ricanos that are in this room right now, please stand up. I mean, look at us. We're beautiful people. We love to celebrate. We love to share our music, our dancing, our food. Carmen's, ooh. And most importantly, we have contributed to this country in more ways than just art, the intellectual capacity that we have. I'm blessed, one of 11 brothers and sisters. I had the love from a mother and father who did everything they could to ensure that we had work ethics, that we did everything we could to give back to our community. And of course, a life model for me, my sister Nancy Padilla, who has contributed so much and was a life model for me, who, she's still older than me. So we wanted to get you all to please challenge yourself, have a little fun, get up, come to the front, because I've been blessed to have Jaime Bermudez, the first time in the history of 43 years that I actually have an assistant artistic director who's going to challenge you all to come up front, and we're going to just do a little quick salsa demo. Come on now, stand up, come on. Come on, give yourself a little, come on now, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Challenge yourself, challenge yourself. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun, come on now.
Oh, and don't go all the way to the back. Come up and make some room. I don't bite. So, before I start, I'm Jaime Bermudez. I'm the Assistant Artistic Director of Brighton Dance Theater. And it has been a pleasure and honor to be able to be a part of a program that gives back identity and culture to young people in the community. And I love seeing some faces that I know in the crowd. Before I start, I want to say the reason why programs like Brighton Dance Theater and the Rochester Baseball League are important is because our younger generation, our younger Latinx generation are growing up without identity. And through these programs, they're able to find a bit of their past, a bit of their present, so they can project into their future. It's important that they know that in Puerto Rico, for 10 years, we couldn't fly our flag, and we were citizens of the United States during that time. It's important to know that 6 months before Ruby Bridges, that in California, Mexicans were fighting for the right for integration in schools as well. It's important to know that the Puerto Rican people, the 61st Regiment, the Borinqueneers, were part of the Tuskegee Airmen story as well. We need to be able to share the stories together so that way we can fit the pieces. And that's what programs like Borinquen or the Rochester Baseball League does, the Rochester Latino Theater Company. Those are the reasons why we have these programs, and we ask that you continue to invest and you continue to support and you continue to celebrate, not just during Hispanic Heritage, but throughout the year. And so now with that being said, we're gonna get into this salsa real quick, okay? All right. So, what we're gonna start off is with a basic step. Professionals like myself and Nidia, we dance on a 4 count. We're gonna teach you on a 3 count, okay? That doesn't mean nothing, it really doesn't mean nothing. It's just easier to know. So, salsa, first of all, I want you guys to all know that we are all considered Latin lovers. So all of our movement starts on the left side because that is where the heart pumps blood from first, right? So our heart is on that left side. So we're gonna start with our 3 count. We're gonna move our 1 step foot forward on a 1. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm just gonna give them we're gonna give them the counts, and then we're gonna get into the music. And then we're gonna take a step back on 2, and then we're gonna bring that foot back on 3. So that should look like 1, 2, 3. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that on the right, but we're gonna go back. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm giving it to y'all slow. You're gonna have to. This is the thing about it. I'm giving you the movement, and then you gotta throw your hips into it. Okay? It's like patting your stomach and patting your head and rubbing your stomach together. So work with me, okay? And we gotta pick up the speed. So we're gonna go at that speed timing of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you're like neither, you're gonna throw that hip into it. Okay. Just shake it from side to side real quick. Just make sure them hips are loose. 1, 2, 3, right? There you go, right? Bate chocolate. That's how we do it. Here we go. So forward and back, and we're gonna throw our hips into it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. You see how my hips are doing? Okay? This is how we're going. Yeah, there we go. I see it already. Don't show off, okay? I'm gonna put you in the back because you're gonna get the other one scared, okay? Now we're just gonna take it, we're gonna go side to side with this, right? Same idea, just 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, and throw them hips into it though. Come on now, don't get scared. See, that he got the idea over there, work it. There we go. All right, so, and then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a pivot into it. And then we're gonna act like we're professionals real quick and just dance like we're in our bedroom in front of our mirror where nobody's watching, but we know that the whole world is, right? Because if y'all didn't see the cameras there, I can see it. Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna add a pivot, and this is called a Cuban break. Yeah, boom, there we go. Yeah, so real quick, the influences of salsa come from our African rhythms, okay, that came into Cuba as part of the tumbao in song. It grabbed some influences from the people that were coming from Puerto Rico into New York State, because as we know, Cuba wasn't letting people go, right? They had a few artists that came out. Puerto Rican musicians were the ones that helped populate that by adding along the way New York City jazz that was taking place in Harlem. And that gave birth to our first styles of salsa. So I'm playing Sadie La Nina. Let's go ahead and just pump it up a little bit. She is this wonderful, beautiful artist from Cuba. You guys can hear that, right? Okay, we're gonna act professional for it. We're gonna start off slow, and then we're gonna throw our hair into it and our hips, okay? All right, and don't be scared. The camera is not on. I don't see the green button. So here we go, forward and back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Throw your hips out. Okay. Now we're working with that chocolate. Bate, chocolate. Ooh. All right. Side out. Oh, Nidia was already watch her. Okay. Don't show up. I'm gonna put you in the back. All right. Take it to that break. Ow. Oh. Oh. Okay, now this is when you guys show me. You guys gotta act. Here we go. Because I'm gonna show off. Okay? You guys are gonna dance it out. Don't get scared. You guys are gonna dance it out. Okay? Yep, I didn't wear no long sleeves just for a reason. So you can see my muscles. Thank you. Alright, they're not really muscles, but here we go, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna show off, but you keep on dancing. Show them that you can show off, okay? Here we go. We are looking for members. I see you. We are looking for members for Borinquen Dance Theater. All right, thank you so much for your time.
Let's give another round of applause to Hyman Bermudez. Thank you, Hyman. Thank you, all of you, for participating and for challenging yourself.
Wow.
I certainly hope we don't have any workers' compensation claims after that. I'll sign whatever waiver needs to be signed, but that was great. Nydia, thank you so much. And, you know, if you want to see some real dancers, we'll talk about them a little bit more in a minute. But the Borinquen dancers are just incredible, incredible. And just a little teaser, you'll be able to see them in a little more than a week. So, but next I want to, a couple of people that I should have mentioned and didn't. Nate, thank you for mentioning County Legislator Santos Cruz. We have Maritza Butrago is with us today. Thank you so much. Family Court Support Magistrate. I think I got that title right. We actually do have another sitting City Council member, Bridget Monroe, who also just happens to work for the town of Brighton. Is with us. So thank you all for being here. I'm so pleased to be able to recognize and hear today from the Honorable Family Court Judge Maria Cubillos Reed. She is a leader. She is a woman who leads by example with an empathetic lens. Judge Maria Cubillos Reed immigrated from Colombia when you were 8 years old. Do I have that right? 8 years old. A few years after that, she went to the University of Rochester, got her bachelor's degree at the U of R, and then went on to Boston. I always get worried when people go down to the big cities, Boston, New York, Washington. Judge Cubillos Reed went to Boston University, BU, got her law degree there, and came back home to Rochester. As a law student and a lawyer, she committed herself to making sure that underrepresented populations had access to the legal system. And in 2023, she was appointed as a family court judge, the first Latina family court judge elected then in later that year to serve as a family court judge. She's been recognized by the Rochester Business Journal and the Daily Record as a member of the Power 50 Law List. She's also been recognized by the Western New York Women's Bar and the New York State Bar Association Empire State Council Program for the pro bono work that she has done. Please join me in welcoming Judge Maria Cubillos Reed.
Thank you, everyone. Muchas gracias por invitarme a celebrar nuestra cultura. Thank you for inviting me to celebrate our culture. Thank you to Supervisor Maley, Council Members Salzman and Wilt, Chief Diversity Officer Moore, to Judge Vilku and the entire Brighton Town Board and the community for having me. I'm Judge Maria Jose Cubillos Reed. I'm proudly a native of Bogota, Colombia. And I'm so happy and very proud to be here celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, especially as Monroe County's first Hispanic family court judge. Thank you. I am so honored to be in the presence of so many Hispanic and Latino leaders, many of whom have helped me to get to this point in my career. I look around this room, and one of the reasons why I love Brighton is because I truly do feel like I come home every time I set foot in this community. I look around, and you all know who you are, who have played such an integral role in me standing before you today in my role. Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to recognize and celebrate the many contributions and diverse cultures of our community. In case you don't know, there's actually 70,000 Hispanic and Latinos in Monroe County. We have leaders in education, the military, commerce, agriculture, science, medicine, police and fire department, the law, legislature, culinary arts, and of course my personal favorite, the courts. Undoubtedly, we are the epitome of a pluribus unum, out of many one, as our national Great Seal reminds us each and every day. The epitome of Latin culture is appreciating that while we may come from different countries, we are all bonded by the commonality of our strong foundation, our heritage. I will never forget where I come from, the values and obstacles that I've had to overcome to be here today. Our Hispanic values are the same values that our community embraces: hard work and sacrifice, faith and family, and hope and perseverance. That is why Hispanic Heritage Month is also a time to celebrate America. This is the heritage of our community and the values of our nation that reaffirmed this month. Those same values open so many doors for me in this land of opportunity. These values demand the best out of all Americans, whether you're in Brighton, Spencerport, Greece, Penfield, Pittsford, the city of Rochester, or anywhere in our county. We must all treasure the opportunities available in this great nation and in our local community. As I stated, Brighton holds a very special place in my heart because everybody here has always been so welcoming. It really is a special place that embraces diversity, which is so evident from local businesses. Carmen's Kitchen, which is my go-to for local food, and I know that we talked about the tembleque, but my personal favorite during the holidays is the coquito, which, yes, which you must all try. I also enjoy Bosch's Mediterranean, Tali of India, Seasonings Thai Bistro. In case you haven't noticed, I do love food. But no matter your background or heritage, the possibility for a future here is endless. This year, actually, in the New York court system, we welcomed Judge Joseph Saez as the first Latino chief administrative judge of the New York State Unified Court System, the highest ranking administrative position within the state judiciary. And for all of you Puerto Ricans, he's Puerto Rican. I proudly sit in family court. My sister, Jimena, who's actually also in Rochester, is the only Hispanic and female pediatric urologist in Monroe County. There's actually only 4% of urologists in this nation that are Hispanic. And my other sister, Juanita, is an aerospace engineer, only which 1% are Hispanic. So we still have some work to do, but we're getting there slowly. Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to celebrate leadership. Leaders should represent the communities that we serve. And I'm so grateful to bring my background to the family court bench, as many of the families we serve look like me. Our honorees today are examples of Hispanic and Latino excellence. Captain Jose Caraballo from the Brighton Police Department, Nidia Padilla Rodriguez, Executive Director of Borinquen Dance, and Andy and Carmen Bailey from Carmen's Cooking. I have seen firsthand the importance of diverse representation and leadership. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with family court, we handle abuse and neglect cases, as well as custodies, paternities, family offense petitions, and juvenile delinquency cases. In Monroe County Family Court, many of the families we serve are Hispanic, and I truly believe that my ability to not only understand the language, but to come from a different culture has helped me to become a better judge, and we need more. It was not always easy being different, but I'm lucky to come from a very strong and close-knit family, similar to the Padillas. I also have an older sister and a younger sister, although if she was here, she'd tell you that I'm the oldest. I came to the United States when I was 8, my sister Juanita was 12, and my sister Jimena was 7. We didn't speak any English, Jimena and I, so it was the 80s, so Jimena and I were actually placed in special education classes as a result. When my parents realized that we were not progressing, we transferred to the public school system and immersed in the language, which I credit for my fluency today. When I was in middle school, I remember coming home and I went up to my sister Juanita and I said, "Oh, I was in school today and these kids called me spick. What does that mean?" And my sister, without even thinking about it, said, "Oh, spick? That means Spanish people in control." So that is what has guided me and continues to guide me. What some see as weakness, I see as strength. I encourage you to find your inner spick and thrive. My sisters and I always joke that when God made Latinas, he kind of sprinkled the best out of all cultures, and voila. I'm so grateful that my daughters, Sophia and Olivia, get to grow up in this community and embrace their Hispanic heritage. And I'm hopeful that by the time that they get to be my age, that we will no longer have to speak about firsts, because they will be one of many successful Hispanic and Latina women, many of whom are actually in this room today. The future of our heritage is as bright as our past. So let's be the leaders that we wish we had, and let's foster unity in our community. Let's lift each other up. My success is your success, and your success is our success. And as someone once told me, let's sit at the table, and if there are no chairs at the table, bring your folding chair. Gracias.
Gracias, Judge, and thank you to your sister for finding such a wonderful way to turn a hateful insult into a challenge, into an accomplishment. Beautiful, beautiful story. As Judge Cubillos-Reed mentioned today, we are honoring some additional leaders in the Hispanic Latino community. And I'm going to start first, closest to home. Sitting up there in the front row, next to Judge Cubillos-Reed, is Brighton Police Department Captain Jose Caraballo. Captain Caraballo has served in the Brighton Police Department for over 21 years. He's been instrumental in carrying out the community policing commitment that every member of the Brighton Police Department adheres to and puts into practice every single day. It is one of the reasons that there is no finer law enforcement agency in the state of New York than the Brighton Police Department. Captain Caraballo has served, he's come up through the ranks, he has served in nearly every capacity that you can serve in the Brighton Police Department, and it is a great honor today to recognize you, to recognize the department with this proclamation. I'm only going to read part of the proclamation, but you will understand, I know the depth of the commitment that you have to our community. Therefore, be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and all of the members of the Brighton Town Council do hereby recognize Captain Jose Caraballo as a 2024 Hispanic Heritage Month honoree for his countless commitments to public safety, including defense tactics training and disability awareness, and for the outstanding leadership and service provided as a captain of the Brighton Police Department. And this proclamation is signed today, September 27th, 2024. I'm proud to present this to Captain Jose Caraballo.
First of all, as soon as I leave here, I have to call my parents. Okay. Yo sé que soy puertorriqueño. I know I'm Puerto Rican, but I don't know if my hips are, because they don't move like that. So I definitely have some questions. All kidding aside, a couple weeks ago when Miriam stopped in to let me know I was going to be an honoree today, I was surprised, and she asked me my feelings on it, and I told her, I'm just, I'm surprised. You know, me, I'm a public servant, this is what I do. You know, you don't get into law enforcement for recognition. You know, it was just unexpected. You know, however, when I reflected on it, and today in the importance of celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, I realized the significance of being a representative for the Hispanic community within the police department, and not just as an entry-level position. Chief Cathaldi entrusted in me several years ago to help lead this department, and to be recognized for it is humbling. I feel privileged to work for an organization committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, and I want to take the time to mention some other Hispanic officers that we have here. Sergeant Julio Montez, who's in the back. Officer Carlos Oquendo, who works our night shift, and Officer Joyce Barcelos. They all do a fantastic job representing the Hispanic community and the Brighton Police Department. With that, congratulations to the other honorees, and thank you to Miriam and everyone else who made this today's event possible. Thank you.
If my math is correct, that's 4 members of a 40-person police department, 10% of the Brighton Police Department. And each one of you serves with honor and distinction, and I'm grateful for that. You've already met our next honoree, but we're going to bring her up for more. Nidia Padilla Rodriguez. Artistic director and founder of the Borinquen Dance Theater, which is an extraordinary, and I'm not gilding the lily here, an extraordinary dance program. And I'll read from their mission statement, because I think this mission really reflects who they are in every part of what they do. Their mission is, quote, to cultivate high academic expectations through the discipline of dance training, cultural enrichment, work ethic, and leadership development. Anybody that can pull all of those off is really doing something very special. If you have not had the opportunity to be amazed by the talents of these young dancers, you're in luck, because they will be featured as part of the Hispanic Heritage Day celebration. It's held every year at the Memorial Art Gallery. This year, October 6th, a week from Sunday. If you've never seen them, don't miss this great event. They are really phenomenal. So it is with great pleasure that I present Nidia Padilla Rodriguez with a 2024 Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation as an honoree from the town of Brighton. Again, I will read a portion of this proclamation. Therefore be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and I join with the members of the Brighton Town Council in recognizing Nidia Padilla Rodriguez as a 2024 Hispanic Heritage Month honoree for her sustained leadership in the realm of education and professional development. We haven't even begun to scratch the surface of your resume today. We don't have that much time, but it is really something, and it shows in the respect that you have in the community. I will continue. Her sustained leadership in the realm of education and professional development, including the introduction of the United Way's Latino Leadership Development Program, As founder and executive artistic director of the Borinquen Dance Theater, Nidia Padilla Rodriguez's contributions to the arts have significantly enhanced the greater Rochester community, and I'm very proud to present this recognition today. It's signed this 27th day of September, 2024. Thank you and congratulations. If you'd like, but you don't have to.
Just real quick, I want to thank all of you again for this opportunity. Mariana, wherever you are, thank you. When she contacted me originally, she said, can you bring your performing art group to this event? I says, I really can't pull the kids out of school. And she says, but you danced for your sisters. And I says, I can't do that either. That was a special gift for my sister. But I will say this is an honor, and I accept this on behalf of all of you that were always there with me right from the beginning to the end. Rosemary, thank you for thinking about Borinquen every time at Memorial Art Gallery. My husband, my sister, and all of you that have, again, supported Borinquen for 43 years. And Hyman, thank you for joining Borinquen Dance Theater. Many blessings to all. Let's stick together. We got a major, major election this year. Let's be thinking about unity and get away from hatred.
We save, I don't want to say the best for last because we have extraordinary honorees, but there's also some great food here. So we want to make sure we get through the program and honor and thank the owners of a true family business. A true family business. You know, people ask me, is there really a Carmen at Carmen's Cooking? You bet there is. And she's sitting here right in the front row today. Carmen and Andy Bailey. I could just stop by saying it is one of my favorite restaurants. You know you're a regular when, you know, there's a, they don't have to ask what I'm going to have. Tripleta. It's a given. It's a wonderful sandwich. You won't find it on the menu board. It's on the online menu. Just get it. Eat half of it. Take the rest home for dinner. Carmen and Andy, of course, are the owners of Carmen's Cooking, and they have been serving some amazing food, and you're going to get a chance to sample some of it in the 12 Corners now for several years. When you go in, Carmen and Andy are in the house, and if they're not, it's probably because Andy is running a catering order off somewhere. But they're in the house, not just behind the counter. They're out talking to the customers, answering questions, talking about how it is that they came to operate this incredible restaurant. And it really does. They serve dishes you may be familiar with and dishes you may not be familiar with, like the tripleta, which is a sandwich that apparently has become very popular in San Juan. They put their own little spin on it, and it's really good. But like I said, eat half of it and take the other half home. It is such a great honor and privilege and joy to introduce Carmen and Andy Bailey. Come join me, please. I don't know how they stay so slim with all of that wonderful food in the house.
Genetics.
And yes, Andy's father is with us as well today.
I'm on a low sodium diet, and Andy is the one that tells me, no, too much.
So again, let me read just a portion of this. Therefore be it proclaimed that I, William W. Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, on behalf of the members of the Brighton Town Council, to hereby recognize Andy and Carmen Bailey as 2024 Hispanic Heritage Month honorees for enhancing the town of Brighton and the greater Rochester area, because let me tell you, you go in there, they're serving the entire Rochester community. Word gets around about the great food in the 12 corners of Brighton.
6 stars.
6 stars, couldn't agree more. Through their curation of both culture and cuisine, it gives me great honor to present Andy and Carmen Bailey these proclamations as Brighton 2024 Hispanic Heritage Month honorees. Either one or both of you, if you want to.
Oh, actually, I got the gift of gab from my dad, but today Carmen's going to speak.
I'm nervous. Those who know me know that I don't like to talk much. He's the one that talks all and everywhere. But anyway, I couldn't let this opportunity pass by without me saying a few words. First of all, I'm very honored and very humble, oh my God, to be here and receive this recognition. I don't think I deserve it, and especially because of the people that are here being honorees too. Oh my gosh, thank you. But definitely I'm very grateful. Thank you all for that. 4 years ago, we embarked in a new venture, a restaurant that would bring back the flavors our grandma so gallantly infused in our Latin food. Being our first restaurant, open in the middle of a pandemic and guided by our instinct only, we opened Carmen's Cooking here in Brighton. From the very first week, we were welcomed as part of the community, and since then, we have experienced an unconditional support and encouragement from neighbors, town officials, and the entire community. Thank you, Mr. Maley, for always encourage, promote, and support our business and other business like ours. Thank you, Brighton, for letting us be part of your family, for well wishes, shared special occasions, and for allowing us to continue bringing a little bit of our culture to whoever enters our doors. Thank you so much.
You know, a couple of their dishes have already been mentioned. I'll just throw another one in. It is certainly appropriate that we're celebrating this on Friday, because if you're a dessert lover like I am, you have never tasted flan until you've had it at Carmen's. And it is a Friday special there. So we're so pleased to be able to honor you and to honor all of the members of the community that we're recognizing here today. It's a privilege, it is humbling, the leadership that each one of you have shown in making Brighton, Rochester, and this whole region a better place. We will never be able to thank you enough and honor you enough. Finally, I want to close today with some words from our Chief Diversity Officer and organizer of this very successful day, Miriam Moore.
Thank you. Good afternoon. All right. It's 1:05, so my remarks will be slim. Hispanic Heritage Month. The road to and the acknowledgement of such did not come easy. My messaging to our friends of Hispanic heritage, the Latinx community, are as such. There's no time for the eclipsing of your light. There's no time for the muting of your voices. And there's no time for the omission of your seat at the table. Onward and upward, my friends. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, everybody. Again, just reminding of a couple more events. This Sunday at the Brighton Farmers Market at Brighton High School, we will continue our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month at 9:30. As I mentioned, a week from Sunday at the Memorial Art Gallery, the MAG celebration of Hispanic Heritage Day. And it's also important to recognize that tomorrow, Saturday, September 28th, the Red Cross will be holding this blood donation drive in memory of Rochester police officer Manuel Ortiz as part of the observance of Hispanic Heritage Month. That will be in the boardroom at the American Red Cross building, 1040 University Avenue. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you especially Carmen and Andy. We have some good food to eat, and I invite you all to join me over here for some of Carmen's Cooking's finest. Thank you. Happy National Hispanic Heritage Month.